umpires, and the most experienced, number 17, is David Acklam, who's a credit officer, 24 years of age, has umpired in 8 AFL games prior to this, and number 43 is Andrew Malcolm. So they're the umpires tonight, 14, 17 and 43. Gee, conditions interesting here tonight. The dipper is down on the boundary line. Robert, we saw that Garry Lyon changed his boots just prior to the match.
Yes, Bruce, as you can see, as I shake the rain off my hair, it certainly has rained. Only a light rain, but the wind has slowly come down a bit because there was blown a gale here about 10 or 15 minutes ago. But the players must be wearing long stripes because it is very slippery here on the MCG, Bruce.
Thanks, Dipper. Martin Pike, it looks like picking up Garry Lyon. That's an interesting matchup. Pike formerly with Melbourne. Lyon getting Crocker. Crocker turned 30 yesterday. There's Lyon. North won the toss. They kick to the right. Carey at centre half forward. Nettlebeck's got him. So the season's about to commence. Crowd not big. It has built up in the last 20 minutes. Reasonable, but I'd say below expectations, but the weather has probably had a lot to do with that. It's been a stormy afternoon, threatening a lot. Viney, the first kick, Lyon, beautifully done. Oh, what a start. Farmer's going to put them a goal up. Superb opening. That'll give the D's some heart. That's better than just about anything from last year.
What a fantastic start to the 1997 Melbourne Football Club. Winning that ball out of the centre, that's one thing they'll have to do tonight. They're going to have to win their fair share of the ball out of that centre, because if they can get that ball in that forward line, as we saw there, beautiful quick hands in by Charles, just getting on the boot. Viney, Lyon, magnificent handball, and this fella Farmer, he is an excitement machine.
Two-pronged attack with Neitz and Garry Lyon in the goal square, with some pace out on the half-forward line with Charles out there and Farmer as well. Kicked off the ground that time by Matthew Phoebe, back in the centre. Scott, wild kick that time by Clarkson, and Wayne Carey marks on 50. So North Melbourne into attack. Long bomb. Distance is there from King Carey, and he's kicked it.
Well, as I said earlier, you can get a decisive advantage if you can get that ball out of the centre bounce there, and Carey just using his body beautifully against Nettlebeck. Just get the ball forward. Doesn't matter how you get it forward, as long as you keep it going towards your goal there. Carey keen to get the ball on quickly. Outside 50, unloads with a big kick. And Nettlebeck is going to have his hands full tonight.
Well, what a bright start in pouring rain, with both teams kicking a goal in the first couple of minutes, and so many of the players from those clubs that high hopes are expected in this season have been prominent. Carey for North, and that quartet for Melbourne at the start. Clarkson's high ball at 50. It's going to be a tough one to hold. That's a good take by Ingerson. Archer's got the job on him. He's an awkward player, Ingerson, with an awkward kicking style. That looks reasonable to centre half forward. Phoebe couldn't hold it. The bump by Tingay on King was pretty effective. King's kick out to half back. And a Freeborn running at it, who played very little in the Ansett Cup series, but was so important last year for North, and a boundary throw-in. Conditions have really set in. North Melbourne filled their flag tonight. There's the weather, currently 18. It was nearly 30 in Melbourne today and expected to get down to 13. Big cool change came in at about 6 o'clock tonight. Jim Steins, what a remarkable athlete. A record breaker in AFL football against one of the great young stars in the game in McKernan. Steins clearly. Hopgood's kick gets a little bit of distance. Allison underneath it, goes to belt it away. Free kick to Archer, hanging on against Ingerson.
Norm Smith medalist kicks the ball back towards the wing. Punched away by Carey. Rock. Scott there as well, knocked the ball on, crashing his way through. Good play by Tingay. It's gone from being a blonde to a mundane brunette. Kicked off the ground by Blakey, back inside, packing 50. Anderson should get there first. Gets plenty of support, plenty of encouragement as he kicks back towards the centre wing position. Obst, as rain continues to fall out the MCG. Longmire, great to see him back. To Allison, North Melbourne, up towards the half-forward line. Viney chips in. Goes short, Jimmy Steins. still at half-back. 1 goal apiece. Tremendous record, 219 successive games. Hand passes a poor one. Carey's there, he's on 50. He's already banged a goal. Great smother. Over the top is Stevens. Wants the free kick. Clarkson at the bottom of the pack.
And Neil Balme would have been disappointed with that handball option. Not the right option on a night like tonight. It's going to be difficult out there to handle the ball. You really do have to go for yardage with your kicks. Get the ball down and let someone else fix up the mistake or the crumb a little bit further downfield.
Pouring here now, Longmire in a bit of a duel there with Gaspar. Viney belts it towards the line. Freeborn. Viney again. Handball was fierce towards Smith and out of play. Right forward pocket North attacking. Sean Smith had a broken arm last year. Very good in 1995 as a goal kicker. Took one of the greatest marks. I know Kevin was working that night as Longmire's going to get a free kick for hanging on against Gaspar. Yeah, we were there in Brisbane that night when he took the big one.
Has been dubbed the mark of the century.
Well, that's loose, isn't it, for Melbourne, giving away a free kick from a boundary throw-in. And Longmire, there's Alastair Clarkson, number 23, who knows these North Melbourne players pretty well. He played 9 seasons at Arden Street before coming to Melbourne last year. And Longmire, the leading goal kicker at the club 5 times, and playing his first AFL Premiership match in 12 months, misses. In fact, longer than that if you take the off-season into account. So a miss there to Longmire, and it's the Kangaroos by 1 point.
Gaspar to bring the ball back. Yet to really make his mark in league football. Goes short. Hopgood loves to run with the ball and set it up. Transfer the play out towards the member's side. Just kicks a high ball. Freeborn was a star in the grand final. Quick hands across to Allison. Back to Carey, winning possessions early. Kicks a long bomb back inside 50. One for the high leapers. Crashing through. Great play by Rock. Kicks a poor one. Gaspar to Longmire. North Melbourne have their second goal.
And that will do Johnny Longmire's confidence a world of good. As we saw a little bit earlier, to set that goal up, Wayne Carey took a long kick, and it was interesting. North Melbourne are a very disciplined side. They play to a set pattern. They will not pass short when they're going into their forward line. We saw Corey McKernan lead up and had plenty of space around him. Carey ignored him, much to McKernan's disgust, but they still set the goal up with that long kick.
Longmire on the board, that's great news, and Carey has started brilliantly. Viney getting some touches, good vision. The handball over to Tingay. He couldn't get it back to Viney. They've been able to push it right forward inside 50. They need to reply here, the Demons. Ingerson tackled, unruly a bit in the end. Farmer couldn't quite. Archer burst his way through and then delivers into the centre. Half volley, Allison, clever. Normally neat as he goes up to 50. Crocker read it beautifully in front of Leoncelli. And Crocker's about to kick the ball long into the forward line. Scholl, so dangerous. Will he try and turn his man inside out? Goes back to Carey. Already 3 kicks, Carey. Make it 4. And that time he was forced to go short. And the umpire said play on. Not far enough. Blakey took it. Freeborn's big fly. Smith comes away and grubbers it out and gets about 40 metres in the end. Out of play. Melbourne under the pump early, though, as North lead 2-1 to a goal.
And because of North Melbourne's simple game plan, in these conditions, it really will be suited. They do like to get the ball to boot as quickly as they can, get yardage with their kicks, and just set the play up down the field.
Donaldchenko off, and Peter Bell on. North Melbourne, one of the most fiercest tackling sides in the competition. And we see there Rock once more pinning Clarkson to the ground.
And Kevin, Dennis Pagan trying to get a mismatch probably there with Bell to be picked up now by a taller player.
McKernan versus Steins. Hopgood caught by King, kicks the ball off the ground. Happy to see it trickle over the line for a boundary throw-in. Glenn Freeborn on screen. He was a star, kicking 3 goals in that second quarter. As we see the interchange bench there, young Woewodin, Brett Lovett there as well. And Robert Pyman. Scott to Freeborn. back inside 50. North Melbourne love pumping the ball in high. And Gaspar takes the free kick. Kicks wide. Put Tingay under a bit of pressure as well. Scott on hands and knees. Tingay off the ground towards the boundary line. And the boundary throw-in.
Stephen Tingay, as we look at Dennis Pagan there with the phone perennially on his ear, and what a great record he has. He's won 62 out of his 95 games as coach at North Melbourne. It's a fantastic percentage.
North Melbourne dropping Freeborn back then.
Tingay quickly on. Stephen Phoebe goes long to full forward. Target there looks to be Neats and Lyon. Pike onto Lyon. They held on to him for a moment. Archer, ball in the pocket. Pike, well done by Melbourne to put the pressure on. Holding the footy. Free kick.
That's inspiring play by the captain, Garry Lyon. Probably a little bit unlucky not to get a free kick early on, and just getting back as quick as he can with the ball and hemming Martin Pike. That's pretty tough on Pike. I'm not sure whether he had a lot of time to get rid of that ball.
7 goals against North Melbourne the last time he played against that club. He missed the match last year. It was a low-scoring game, and he was the difference that day. Has he missed? I think he has. It's a behind. Twice he's kicked in the 70s. Lyon, 79 goals in 94 and 77 in 95.
It's a tough kick, that one, but he's not going to get many kicks tonight. He's going to have to make it count.
Just 6 games last year to Garry Lyon, playing his 199th game tonight. Anderson, wild hand pass, keeps forcing the ball forward. The race is on Bell, they can raffle it. Goes to Allison. Quickly onto that left boot, backing back is Longmire. Gaspar there, does well. Traps it in the back pocket. Finds Smith. So Melbourne come away. Under pressure early in this first term. Finds Charles. Centres the ball. The high flyer was Neats. Mighty Mick Martin read it well. Thumps the ball back. They love to just belt the ball back towards Carey at centre half forward at ground level. Coming through, Leon Chally. Back also in 50. Mighty Mick once more takes them up.
Melbourne going long though a couple of times, and if they keep doing that tonight, they've got a chance. Neats is going to win a few of those balls up forward, and a few of them are going to fall down. Viney getting his hands on it again. High tackle, free kick. Crocker coming into the back, so Viney's free. Melbourne's lifted a bit in the last couple of minutes. You can feel that they're now matching North Melbourne. Viney to centre half forward. McKernan front spot, got a leg in the back, no free. Rock tackled by Lyon. Quick kick away, courage by Scott, kept his eye on it. What a great recruit he was as a mature player. Carey is beating Nettlebeck early. Now the shepherd from Smith, but Nettlebeck fell over unfortunately. Smith off the ground, good take, Tingay. Oh, well played. Kept his cool, Smith a bit slow. Finally gets his kick away. Steins is going to have to go in the centre. Taken by Blakey, Glenn Lovett's got him. It's going to be a bounce. Good footy though from both clubs in tough conditions. They wouldn't have trained in these conditions all year, I wouldn't have thought, and suddenly on the first night of AFL football in 97 the rain comes down. It's been a very, very dry summer and early autumn here as Stevens bangs away towards half forward. Longmire on a long lead. Carey. Handball didn't really go too far. Bell, well done. Back to Longmire, back to Carey. Such an influence. The king tackled. Well played Phoebe, kept his ground and his cool. Nettleback chips away. Melbourne have got numbers and they are away through Olst.
Down towards the half forward line. The target was Ingerson. Archer happy to see the ball go over the line.
And I watched the Melbourne reserves play earlier, and they seem to be adopting a much longer kicking style of play. And we've already seen that in the first quarter. Melbourne choosing really to go long with the ball rather than trying to invent another handball.
Steins at the back. Matthew Phoebe. It's a hurried kick. Martin, the big thump away. Rock pounces on it. Can't take control. Clarkson. Once more Melbourne into attack. Back of the pack, Ingerson. Neats over the top. Tremendous at ground level, the king. Transfers it wide to Pike, can go over the top to Laidley. The junkyard dog from the back pocket. 2 against 1. It's tough for North. Crocker playing his 150th game tonight. As the ball once more goes over the line for a boundary throw. And Woewodin and Pyman are playing their first games for Melbourne tonight.
Goal the difference. North lead 2-1 to 1-1. And again a free kick from a boundary throw in. Tingay. Again long to full forward. Martin, Needs. Mickey first hands. Charles tried to read it with Lovett. Archer was there. Blakey forcing forward. Allison's. Oh, well done, King. Then Farmer. Hopgood. In trouble. McKernan's got him. Probably the wrong option by Hopgood to run backwards. Had he got a quick handball away forwards, he would have been better off. And North are going to get it. They had a chance there, Melbourne, at centre-half forward. Hopgood taking McKernan on physically, trying to beat him with pace, and he couldn't do it. Stevens has got it to centre wing. One of the very consistent players. Well done, Ingerson. That's a brave smother off the boot. But Stevens able to recover. Freeborn front spot. Phoebe with him. Stephen. Good matchup. Stephen trying not to take control of it, so he won't be pinged for holding the ball, and it's going to be a bounce. Played every game for 3 consecutive years going into last year, Stephen Phoebe, and last year played just the 5. It was symbolic of the woes of the Melbourne Footy Club injury-wise in 1996. First match of the year on a Friday night, they were hammered by Geelong and they never recovered. Tonight, they're out there to be much more competitive against the team that was the best in the competition last year.
North Melbourne 2-1-13, Melbourne 1-1-7. Clarkson playing against his old club. Goes short, looking for the skipper. 2 to beat. McKernan did well. Martin kicks out wide. The loose player. Anderson. It's a poor kick. He sets up ops. So with the 2 gun forwards, Neitz and Garry Lyon up forward. Charles and Farmer adding a bit of pace across the half-forward line. Demons, if they can get it down there, they've got height and also speed. Steins kicks a high ball. Anderson caught by Charles. Mark's been paid. Came into the grand final side last year at the expense of Matty Armstrong. Steins in front, has it punched away. Hopgood to Tingay. So Melbourne are kicking the ball longer tonight. Anderson starting to win some touches in this opening term. Back to McKernan. What a duel that is. Steins versus McKernan. Sean Smith across half.
It's a funny situation we've got out there. North Melbourne have built up a wall of players across half-back. So have Melbourne. They're playing kick-to-kick at the moment.
Scoring's hard, isn't it? Freeborn's got it in the centre. Just cutting it off. Barmy unhappy. Kicks to centre-half forward. Crocker and Scholl there. Good tackle on Crocker. Hopgood gets in the front spot. Scholl over the top. Leoncelli back to Smith, who's been busy early, and he belts it over the line and out of play.
I reckon that situation there, Crocker actually taking control of the ball. When there's that sort of pressure around you, really it's not the best thing to do. You've got to keep the ball alive in your forward line. Just push it out to space.
I think tonight with the rain looking as if it's going to set in, the goal's going to be tough. McKernan off the ground. Into the pocket. Tingay kept it in. Scott G. Danger. Clarkson. Phoebe. They're in trouble. Is he in the back there on Clarkson? No free kick. Going to be a bounce, I think.
Gee, he didn't have to keep that ball alive, did he? He could have just taken it through the behinds. They could have gone back, taken the long kick, and then they could have set the ball up again. They're probably a little bit lucky on that occasion. Very difficult to handle under these conditions when you've got a slippery ball in your hand.
Well, North may try a set play here. It's in a situation where they could set a goal up very easily. Rock, Melbourne with some numbers. Clarkson belts it to the boundary line and finds it out of play. Runner-up in the best and fairest last year. Really reinvented himself, didn't he, in 1996 as an AFL player.
Clarkson playing his 116th game tonight. Every game last year with the Demons. Gaspar pushing and shoving with Longmire. Stevens dispossessed. Blakey off the ground. Rock caught high by Tingay. Forced towards the boundary line. And we've got a throw in. Looks totally different, Stephen Tingay, without the blonde hair.
It's amazing how dark your hair goes when it gets wet, Kevin.
If you've got any. Gaspar.
Oh,
Wild kick. Stacks on the mill.
That's got to be a free kick. That has got to be a free kick. In conditions like this, a player just belting Johnny Blakey, just throwing the boot at that ball, and that's dangerous kicking.
Chandler's come on for North Melbourne. It's pretty indiscriminate there by Blakey, but no free.
Garry tapped on towards Chandler. Back to Scott. High fly was McKernan. At ground level, Stephen Phoebe gets it across to Tingay. Once more a poor kick. It's very slippery. So we see Rock just going to ground. So conditions are very difficult at the MCG. You see Stevens on the boundary line, ready to come back on. Chandler rushes off. Longmire and Gaspar. Lovett couldn't take it. Tingay off the ground once more. And I think we'll see a lot of boundary throw-ins tonight.
It's Chandler. He's just went on to replace Stevens for a few moments. Pike and Chandler, the two Fitzroy players last year, were the premiership team from last year. They wouldn't have reckoned on that late in the year, would they? In '96, Blakey's kick. Good play for Viney, front spot. Melbourne getting touches through the midfield with Viney and Tingay. Phoebe brothers have had their hands on it a bit. Viney. Oh, Archer too good. It's a very fine player. We saw a moment ago he's kicked 52 goals in the last 2 seasons. So he can play back and forward. Kicks in the Carey direction, as they so often do. And holding the footy.
It's a good decision. Stevens dragged the ball back in underneath him, Bruce.
And Viney, who this time last year was on the tennis circuit with Mark Philippousis, kicks to centre wing. Lovett tried to read it and come through. Well done, Steins, as Ingerson got it to Tingay. Back to Ingerson. Phoebe, they're just a little too cute in the end, but they'll get away with it because the kick off the ground from Archer is out of bounds on the fall. Tingay to bang it back in. Neats behind Martin, about 55 metres away from this kick, and Lyon in the goal square. Neats providing half a lead. Tingay's going to go to the pocket, maybe the Lyon lead. He's going to try and work Pike here, but not much happened, and a boundary throw in 50 metres from goal. Another change. Scott off and Stevens on. So Stevens has been on and off the... sorry, Chandler, I should say, off again. Stevens has been on and off in a hurry on a couple of occasions. Dennis Pagan probably just giving him a couple of words or two on the telephone. So he's in the action, Stevens. At the foot of a couple of these. Tingay with him. Change of boots by the look of it there. Ingerson. It was Robert Scott, and Chandler's still out there. Lyon trying to go through, and again it's going to be a ball up. So lots of throw-ins, lots of ball ups, probably not a lot of goals. And that should suit Melbourne in terms of being competitive, you'd think. 2-1 to 1-1 at the moment, North by a goal.
Ball up on 50, so a chance for the Demons. McKernan caught by Gaspar.
Melbourne seem to have their matchups pretty right at the moment.
McKernan put his hands to the ball. Tingay lost it. Taken by Stephen Phoebe. Clarkson taken away by Martin. Taken to ground. Archer gets good support from Blakey. Comes away across half-back. Kicks the ball out wide. Finds Anderson. Runs through centre half-back. Caught. Great tackle. That goes to Hopgood, who's quick. Runs hard at the ball. Right inside the centre square. So he kicks a long bomb. Chance for Lyon. He's got 2 to beat. Martin will take it through.
It's been good tonight, Mickey Martin, in this first quarter. He's picked up David Neitz, and he's kept David Neitz quiet. He's also been able to take a couple of marks himself and clean up down there in the back line on a couple of occasions.
Mighty Mick, just a plastic computer programmer. It's the ball kicked out wide. Challey. He's got a loose player in Farmer. He's inside 50, the Wizard. He's kicked a great goal for Melbourne.
And we see so many goals in AFL football kicked from missed kicks and turnovers. On that occasion, North Melbourne trying to set the play coming up. A bad kick under difficult conditions here at the MCG. And good finishing by Farmer. He was a goal kicker for them last year. 37 goals last year, Farmer. Very clever little play. Only needs to get his hands on the ball a couple of times really to make it pay.
2-2-2-1, so a great start for Farmer with 2 goals in this opening quarter. Stein's winning it. Rock back to King, goes long. Crocker at the back, good fly by him. Longmire, Gasper, well done, and then effectively gets a kick away. There's a bit of a blue on behind play there with Clarkson involved, and also Chandler. It's a feisty customer, that Clarkson. Away goes Hopgood. Charles couldn't quite hold it, and King able to take it and belt it back towards half forward. Let Charles know all about the fact that he didn't hold the mark. Phoebe out of play. Crocker coming off. Scott coming back on. I think he might have changed his boots. Roberts getting ready to come on for North.
Dennis Pagan loving throwing his players around, just continually turning them over, trying to get a mismatch, making it difficult for Neil Baum.
Steins and Longmire, Chandler, Clarkson, and again a bounce. Or a throw up.
Melbourne pushing a couple of players back into their defence at the moment. Obster's down there, Sean Smith's down there. 2 players minding Wayne Carey at the moment.
Shoal off, Roberts on. Steins, who's winning it around the ground. Bit of a miss kick by Hopgood. Allison back to Blakey, to Rock. Rock delivers to half forward. Carey and Nettlebeck. Nettlebeck in front of Carey. And working it towards the line, and pretty happy to see it go over. And a fair way from North's goal, about 70 metres away, as we're late now into the first quarter. And wouldn't Melbourne like to go in a quarter time with their nose in front? They're 2-2 to North 2-1. There's the Melbourne bench. Pyman and Woewodin, a couple of them there. The boundary throw in. Steins getting his hands on it. Lovett gets it out to Clarkson.
His kick's a poor one. Taken by Bell. Thumps the ball back inside 50. In front was McKernan, had it thumped away. Gaspar to Hopgood, who's been very good in this opening term, takes it over the line. No frills, Hopgood. Good runner, terrific goer for Melbourne. Steins versus Longmire. Jimmy just too tall. Nettlebeck to Lyon Challey. Broke his leg last year. Great to see him back in action. Long bomb down towards centre wing. Lovett pounced on it. It's the ball back. Matthew Phoebe over the top to Obst. Melbourne looking good in this opening term now to Charles. Back to Obst. Been kicking the ball long to the forward line. Garry Lyon in front has it thumped away this time from Pike. Gets plenty of support. Kicks hurriedly back towards the centre wing. Bell in front. Over the line for a boundary throw. Garry Lyon just giving some encouragement there. Neil Baum. Be happy to see Garry Lyon back out there this year. Also Tingay and Viney all had setbacks last year. Stephen Phoebe still without Swartz and Primke, but a better looking Melbourne side tonight. Chandler punched away from Scott from Lyon Challey. Once more a boundary throw in. As we said before, Timmy, there'll be plenty of those tonight.
Yes, it's going to be one of those nights where there's plenty of ball-ups, plenty of throw-ins, and hard, tough contest.
Very deep now in the opening term. Smith round the body, back in towards the centre. Strong attack by Laidley. Off the side of the boot, but he was going for distance. And Laidley's kick is the last one of the opening term. Gasper with the footy. So Melbourne came out with a goal in the first half a minute. North came back with a couple of goals, one from Carey and one from Longmire, and then Melbourne got back in the swing of it, and Garry Lyon would be happy to be out there, and he'd be more than happy with the fact that Farmer got a second goal, and Melbourne lead by a point at quarter time. Mick Martin, as Tim said, has done well on David Neitz in the opening term. What about the conditions and what do the coaches have to say?
Yeah, Bruce, not about the coaches. Corey McKernan has just come off the ground. Now, halfway through that first quarter, Garry Lyon went for a big mark and put his boot, obviously, in Corey's back, and he's struggling at the moment, so I'll keep you up to date. But Neil Bum was very happy with that quarter. He just asked the players to keep pushing the ball on.
Start of the second quarter of the MCG. Ball thrown aloft, so McKernan, Dipper, let us know what happens there. Off the ground at the moment. Chandler goes to full forward. Gasper's read it pretty well. Roberts unhappy with the kick, and Gasper's taken it on the last line of defence. Kicks to half-back. Steins the target, so Longmire running in the ruck. Without Capuano, and if McKernan doesn't come back for a while, North are a bit undermanned there. Anderson's quick kick away. Smith takes a chance. He did it well, and then the handball to Nettlebeck. Nettlebeck can come away. Wouldn't be a good kick actually to Charles. Well done. It's got some magic. Too slow. Scott off the ground. King. Farmer. He too has a lot of magic. King's hip and shoulder effective. Laidley runs it out. There's McKernan. Being covered up by the trainers there. Had a dramatic end to 1996, McKernan, with injury worries in the final series, and then had a minor operation on his knee after the grand final. Lovett, the tackle on him was a good one. And again, a throw up. So Melbourne lead by behind, courtesy of Jeff Farmer. 2 goals. Nash, Ackland, Malcolm, the umpires tonight. Steins. And again, Tingay on the bottom. A throw up. It ain't pretty, but it's pretty tight.
Sean Charles just couldn't handle the ball before, Timmy, but he's only played 5 games in the last 2 years, so he'd be pretty anxious to get a few touches and get back into the pace of the game again.
He's an exciting player. He's an exciting player. As we go down to Robert Dipiot a minute ago.
You can call me Dip if you like. Yes, Corey McKernan has hurt his left knee. Looks like he's jarred his left knee. It's not the same knee he was operated on, so I'll keep you in touch with that.
Charles, clever kick, back to 50, been marked by Archer. So the Melbourne defence has stood up well so far against this very strong North Melbourne side, but they've lost McKernan. Longmire started at full forward, has now been moved into the ruck, kicks back towards the edge of the centre square. Great mark to Carey. Kicked their first goal. Had 5 kicks in that first term, kicks the ball out in front to space. Bell traps it, needs some support. No runners for North Melbourne, has to go backwards to Anderson. Quick hands, back to Pike. Touches it on the ground, very slippery at the G. Kicks long, one for the high flyers. Smith is up there with a big fist away. Viney ties it up right on the front edge of the centre of the goal square. 2-2-14 Melbourne, North 2-1-13. Carey pushes out, snapshots, kicks a goal. No, he's missed.
Touched off the boot.
Touched off the boot?
I think so, yeah.
Was it a free kick, Timmy?
I'd like to see it again, KB, because it really did look like he pushed his opponent in the back then as he took control of the ball. Let's have another quick look at that one. Definitely pushed Nettlebeck out of the way.
Melbourne goes short and unable to keep the mark there in tough conditions, Smith, but means a boundary throw in. Left forward pocket for North. I feel like every goal tonight is going to be worth a couple on a normal night. Kick by Leoncelli to half-back. Off the ground, Steins. Moved it forward, Martin. Neat. So Melbourne have done well. They've got the ball right up to centre wing. Steins could have conceded the ball out of play, but he kept it going. Great sight there with one of the exuberant fans looking on. All dressed up for the occasion. Steins, Longmire backing back. Charles, Stevenson, Charles. King there as well. Bounce or throw up. A bit more on McKernan, Dipper.
Yes, Bruce, look, it is definitely his right knee. The knee had an operation on, and he doesn't look very happy, and I don't think we'll see him back on the ground tonight.
So it is the one he had the op on?
Yes, Bruce.
Thanks, Dipper. Longmire. Well, if he doesn't come back tonight, that's a blow for North, no doubt about that. Long term. Well, Smith courageous, but knocked up by Scholl, who's been kicking these last year, and he does it again. It's been the value of North Melbourne, hasn't it? That they take full advantage of any mistakes.
They have multiple goal kickers, but what about the play then by Wayne Carey? Now, he jumped over the ball. Watch this. He knew if he took the ball, or if he kept the ball in front of it, it was going to stop the roll of the ball. Now, all he did then was allow a bumbling ball into his forward line, which is very dangerous on a night like tonight, and Scholl then cleaning up and kicking a smart goal.
It's important to have Crummers at the fall of the ball because both sides just forcing the ball forward in the greasy conditions. So you need plenty of support. Rock couldn't take it. Charles just starting to get his hand on the ball now. The 50. Neats, that's his first possession. Matthew Phoebe has to go backwards. Clarkson inside 50. Kicks long. Distance is there. So's the accuracy. Great reply by the D's.
Example then of running in numbers and Melbourne players prepared to work, just running behind the ball in waves so that that second option, that third option appears and needs smart play. As we see here, Phoebe giving the ball off to Clarkson. A good finish on his left foot, this fellow. He really does kick the ball well with both feet.
Just a reply Melbourne wanted. Answering the challenge. All square again at the MCG as the rain comes down even harder. Steins was up early. Lovett caught. And again a throw up.
Signs are good, Timmy, because Melbourne are actually in the game.
Well, it's a great level of these conditions are. Wet, and if they're prepared to work hard, Kevin, if they're prepared to get the numbers at the ball, they're prepared to work hard underneath the packs, then they're a chance. North Melbourne are not going to outmark them tonight. It's just too difficult to take the ball above your head.
Gee, the North Melbourne runner in to Peter Bell there to tell him to tighten up on Alastair Clarkson. Scott ducked his head. No free kick. And again a throw up.
And Melbourne's confidence would be growing too, Bruce, simply because underdogs coming into this game, and all of a sudden you find scores are level at the 7-minute mark of the second quarter in greasy conditions. They can sense now that they might cause an upset.
Gee, Laidley copped a high one, free kick. Belted across the head. It's coming back. It's his birthday today. Turned 30, Dean Laidley.
This is a nice old present, this one.
Was it number 23, I think it was. Here's the kid, Woewodin, his first senior game for Melbourne. Kicks it out wide to Matthew Phoebe, to centre wing. Neats worked underneath it by Martin. Got a little shove, Neats, no free kick. Laidley, who's recovered pretty quickly from that belt around the ear. Off the ground by Martin. Carey tried to trap it, taken by Rock. Good smother, Viney. Carey, his hands on it again. Phoebe worried him. Stevens tried to go off the ground. Viney in on it. Carey grabbed hold of him, bounce or throw up right in front of the major sponsor sign. It's Jeff Farmer. Runner out to him. There's going to be some tired players here tonight. A lot of body work, left, right and centre, isn't there?
And coaches are going to be working overtime trying to manufacture goals.
Garry always making himself a target, leading up the ground under these conditions. A free kick goes to North Melbourne. Goes to Chandler, gives it across to Laidley. So he kicks the ball on to 50. Ground level, King pounced on it. Caught by Woewodin. Good play by the youngster. Carey's down. McKernan's off the ground. Carey's down. Trouble for North Melbourne. It's on 50. Hopgood comes away. Shotgun kick out of bounds on the full. So this is bad news here for North Melbourne. Carey up. Now just watch how he falls. To check on what's been injured there. Melbourne come away. Jimmy Steins. Is this going to be a ball over? Viney, tough in the clinches, heads towards the boundary line. Laidley for North Melbourne. Jimmy Stein should mark. Drops it with the gloves, recovers well. Terrific at ground level. Laidley keeps his eye on the ball. Back to Longmire. He's done well in his comeback game. Thumps the ball back to 50. It's all Melbourne. They can raffle it. Bingo. 18 goes to Nettlebeck. Goes short to Farmer. He's booted 2 goals. He's a live wire. Melbourne seem to be just winning a lot of the ball now. Back to Woewodin. Carey's being carried off. We'll check on his injury in a moment. Centre of the ground. Stevens just has to thump the ball once more. Under pressure now, North. Rock goes to ground. Hands and knees. Woewodin won plenty of touches since coming on. Back to Gaspar. Kicks the ball. He put his teammate under pressure in Tingay. Good play here by Blakey, and he's kicked the ball in where we see Carey being put onto a stretcher. Looks like he's done his arm or shoulder. Let's go to Dipper.
Yes, Kevin, from here, looks like he's broken his hand or his forearm there. There's a bit of pain, obviously, with that hard fall there, so I'll find out exactly what is up to it, and I'll let you know.
There's a 7 super slow-mo replay for Carey, and, oh, gee, he's just got our fingers crossed here. What would Dennis Pagan be thinking right now? I mean, Corey McKernan sitting there with a knee problem. Carey coming from the ground. Capuano out for the season. Oh, gee, we feel for the King right now.
It's really difficult to pick up exactly what he's done, whether or not he's banged his head, and in fact he has concussion, or whether or not he may have hurt, as Dipper said, his wrist, his shoulder, or his hand.
Pretty sure it's the second one of them, Farmer. So suddenly, if you were framing a market on this match, with Carey and McKernan unlikely to come back, and just what we've seen in the first 40 minutes of footy, Melbourne will be equal favourites, if not slightly in front. This is going to take a supreme effort from North Melbourne. And their stocks are so low. After they unfurled the flag an hour ago, their 2 champions are off the ground and unlikely to take any further part in the match. And who knows what's in front of them for the season. The kick to centre half forward. Freeborn off the ground. Phoebe runs across in front of him for Tingay. Tingay's back turn, but Pike then almost threw it away. Intercepted cleverly. Woewodin's been good. Couple of early kicks. Settled in well. Boundary throw in. Scores level here, but the drama is on the interchange bench for North Melbourne, where Wayne Carey and Corey McKernan are both sitting it out. Look at Carey with their trainers all around him, and he's certainly got hold of his left wrist, and he's in a great deal of pain.
Well, Bruce, it appeared that they'd actually cut away his jumper on that occasion, so maybe they're trying to get to his shoulder. It may be,
He had problems last year, didn't he? Shoulder area.
He has had trouble with his shoulder in the past, and that is just one of the worst signs you can see, or one of the worst things you can see in football, a champion such as Carey being carried off.
So Melbourne, can they take advantage with 2 champions off the ground? Scores are level, 20 points apiece. North Melbourne's got tremendous spirit, very proud club. Got their backs to the wall, and there's a sight we didn't expect to see. Wayne Carey being stretchered from the ground. Neats versus Martin. Martin's done a great job. The top forward for the Demons. Kicks the ball back. Danilchenko taps the ball on. Can't take control. Melbourne now hunting in numbers. Kicks the ball back. High fire from behind was Archer at ground level. Clarkson taps the ball back. Couldn't take it, was Hopgood. Now Hopgood with a quick kick down to the forward line. And it's forced over by Garry Lyon once more. Nearly cannons into Wayne Carey.
And it might be time for Mark Pike just to grab hold of another number 13 jumper as we cross down to Dipper again.
We'll go back to Dipper in a moment just to get a report on Wayne Carey, as we see Melbourne making interchange. Coming off is Clarkson, and coming on is Robert Pyman. Let's go back to Dipper.
Hello, can you hear me now? Yeah?
Yes, Dipper.
Yes, they've taken Wayne Carey into the rooms. They're trying to get his shoulder back in place. Just to cut his shoulder. They tried to do it on the boundary line, they couldn't. So Wayne's obviously in a lot of pain, so hopefully they can put that shoulder back in.
So player's been held up.
Dislocated shoulder, Kevin. That's a 10 or 12 week injury.
Well, I suppose it depends if things have to be pinned and all that sort of stuff. Let's hope for North Melbourne's sake of Wayne Carey that it's not as bad as it looks.
You wouldn't read about it, would you? But McKernan has a potential serious injury in the knee where he had to be operated on. And the undisputed king of AFL football has been carried from the ground in the opening match of the season and may be out for at least half the year.
It's a great level of this game.
Ingerson in the ruck. Archer. Martin. So can this North Melbourne defence stand up now to the pressure? With their 2 gun forwards off the ground. got some great players down there in Archer and Mick Martin. They've been great in a crisis before. Can they do it again tonight? Melbourne desperate to get a goal just to take advantage of the situation. Farmer appealing for the free. He's kicked 2 goals. It's on top of King.
And you don't know what sort of effect seeing your captain carried around the boundary line on a stretcher may have on the rest of his teammates either.
Particularly not knowing at this stage what's wrong. Charles, but a free kick has been paid. It's going to North Melbourne. And Archer, is he going to take it? Wants to give it across to Blakey. So Archer just cooling things down a bit.
Fine player, goes wide, free ball went to ground, mark taken by Stephen Phoebe. Melbourne's had it in their forward line for a while now. They need to convert here because North's stocks will be lifted at half-time. Dennis Pagan will get them back. Over the top was a touch, it was a behind. I think here, Tipman, there's a window of opportunity for Melbourne in the next 10 minutes before half-time to pinch a break, get a couple in front. There'll be some tactics at half-time from North's point of view. They'll regroup as a team. Dennis Pagan will talk about pride and the things that go to making a great football club. And they will come back hard, and Melbourne are just a behind in front. I reckon they'd need a couple here to give themselves a good chance. It's Archers to bring it back in. He's warned to hurry up with it now. 50. Gasper, high tackle. Steins, awkward looking kick, but back inside 50. High fly, Ingerson. Good grab. Launched himself at the back, went up vertically and held it. It's not the best kick we've ever seen. It's a useful player at Adelaide. There's the 7 super slow-mo replay. Got good height there over the top of Archer. He was handy last year, wasn't he? Both back and forward. He mainly at the back. Had some big jobs early in the year on key forwards. Had a lot of goals kicked on him at times. Stuck to his guns. Came forward in the second half of the season. Did pretty well. Was an honest contributor in Adelaide for the Crows. Played his footy at Central District there. He's 35 metres out. Stabs away. I think he's got it. That's one they needed, wasn't it? It just gives them a little break in what's going to be a low-scoring game. They lead by 7 points.
It really is just going to be a slugfest tonight. Both coaches will try and manufacture goals, just try and steal goals on the opposition. On this occasion, Archer, who's done a very good job on Ingerson up to this point, just not being able to go. Ingerson getting the jump and Archer probably giving away 3 or 4 inches in height to Ingerson.
So Ingerson, who played a lot last year in defence, particularly with Garry Lyon out. Steins wins the tap. Desperate was Rock. Stevens underneath the ball as well. We've got a ball up. Smack bang in the centre of the MCG. So Neil Baum looking on. Realising that maybe his side could cause an upset here tonight under the circumstances. Stevens tries to slap the ball on. Tingay, quick hands to Lovett. Melbourne keep forcing the ball forward. In front was Neitz. Out-muscled by mighty Mick Martin. Coming through, flexing the muscles was Archer. Hits the deck. Wild hand pass. Great play by Neitz. Great courage to Charles. Snaps. Can't bring it back. Minor score. So Sean Charles. It's great to see him back, just 5 games in the last 2 seasons. He's had a wretched wrist injury. But even tonight so far, Tim has shown, just in the couple of passages of play that he's been involved in, what an important player he can be. Archer kicks it out wide. Melbourne now with the Crummers. Stephen Phoebe to high ball, back to 50. Pyman was the high flyer at ground level. Laidley back to Blakey. So the North defence under enormous pressure now. Longmire was at full forward. Now he's back in the ruck. They've hardly got any player over the centre of the ground, North Melbourne. They've stacked the back line. Now they've got the runners all running forward. Allison kicks to Scholl. Can't take the grab under the conditions. Matthew Phoebe pumps the ball back. Melbourne desperate for another goal before half-time. Freeborn, a hero in the grand final. Can he be a hero tonight? The kick's a poor one. It finds Matthew Phoebe.
Enormous difference too when they go forward. No Carey at centre half forward to kick two. He wins so many 50-50 contests. Farmer and Laidley Back to Farmer. Handled it like it was a dry day and beautifully delivers to Steins. He's a very big talent, Farmer. Steins at half forward, kicks it as far as he can to full forward. Ingerson again, belted away, neat, good kick round the body, gave his forwards a chance. Well played, Freeborn, building it through from behind. 4-5-3-2.
And I reckon that's where Neitz can trouble Mickey Martin too. If he doesn't actually fly in the pack, if he stays down, Mickey's going to be searching for him. He's going to be worried about how he's going to actually find him too.
Oh, Longmire, King's kick was good, and it bounced off Big Johnny, and then had his handball cut off by Phoebe. And Melbourne are doing well here. They've held it up. They've won a little battle.
It's almost as if they're playing like men possessed, because they did see Wayne Carey going off the field. I think you called it right before, Bruce. They've got the chance now to really seal, well, really strengthen their advantage over North Melbourne before half-time.
Crocker's come on the ground for North. So the Demons doing most of the attacking. Farmer back to Pyman, who was played at North. In fact, Leoncelli, I should say. Pyman on the ground also, number 16. Leoncelli's done pretty well, 36. Bell with him. Not sure who's tagging who. Bell normally gets a job there. Martin in the front spot. Viney tried to break the tackle. Might have been lucky not to. In fact, did ping. Tried to break it and then caught for holding it. And Chandler to take it at centre wing.
So he kicks long. There's no Carey at centre half forward. Scholl is the high flyer. Matthew Phoebe dispossessed. Danilchenko goes in hard. We've got a ball up on the point of the centre square.
The one thing North Melbourne won't do is they won't change their style of play. They'll continue to hit the spot at centre half forward, whether Wayne Carey's there or not. They'll just want that contest.
Melbourne lead by 9 points. Crocker's come back onto the ground, playing game 150 tonight. Chandler, quick hands to Rock, can't trap it. Now he does. Kicks wide. Trying to find Allison. Good play by Phoebe. Back hard. Allison at ground level. Nettlebeck. Plenty of support. Bang! Crashed into Chandler. It's a loose ball. Chance for North Melbourne. Over the top of the ball. Desperate play. There's Matthew Phoebe. As we see Stuart Anderson ready to come back on. So Dennis Pagan has rung the changes tonight. Neil Baum hasn't used his interchange bench very much at all. In fact, didn't even bother with it in the first quarter. So we've got a boundary throw in just 30 metres around from goal.
Not many numbers for Pagan to play with now, though. It's down to basically one interchange for the rest of the night.
And that's been one of North Melbourne's strengths, their ability to throw the side around a fair bit, particularly in the centre square. Leoncelli kicks the ball back towards the wing. Farmer, he's kicked a couple. He's in great form. Cross half back, goes wide. Finds Matthew Phoebe. So the Demons are on a roll.
Kicks to half forward. Neitz and Martin. Glenn Lovett. High tackle. No, not paid. He did duck down high. And then another high tackle on the Melbourne player. Kick away by Bell to centre wing. Front spot shot beautifully done to Anderson. Anderson quickly towards centre half forward. Both players going to ground, Freeborn and Phoebe. With Smith. Allison's after him. Smith's kick pretty good. Out wide, Woewodin and Danilchenko. Woewodin with a chance. Danilchenko tries to hold him up. Charles has just missed a couple, probably lacking in match practice. Longmire kicks to centre half forward. North need one. Scholl had it belted away from him. Smith has got to keep his cool here. It's a hard ball to handle. Steins played it beautifully to Nettlebeck, who can hold it up and squeeze it to Clarkson, who's come back off the interchange. Clarkson can also deliver. He goes long, wants Farmer, he's outnumbered, put himself into the contest, free kick to Laidley. Well, that is a surprise. Front spot. Farmer, obviously, the umpire said, use Laidley to get a bit of a lift, and hung on to him. Laidley's kick back to half forward. Scholl and Nettlebeck. Nettlebeck starting to stand pretty tall now with no Carey after Carey had been well on top of him. Stevens belts it to full forward. Front spot, Anderson, who's gone forward. With him, Gaspar. Chandler in on him. Gaspar's kick. Stevens has got it. About 55 metres out from goal.
So Stevens will kick the ball long. Looking for someone to take a grab. Crocker's there. Got his hands on the share, and Viney just stumps the ball through. Some good backing up tonight by Melbourne. They've got a lot of blockers, Tim, across that half-back line.
They've worked extremely hard, KB, to get back there and fill the spaces. work the numbers.
Gaspar goes short, finds Jimmy Steins. 24.5 minutes played in the second term. Melbourne lead 29-21. Woewodin, who's been pretty impressive, the kid from East Fremantle. Played reserves football in the Waffle last year. Kicks back towards the wing on the outer side of the ground. Certainly has been a buzz around the ground since McKernan, and particularly when Carey has gone off the ground as Danilchenko steps over the line. Pyman on the interchange bench, playing his first game tonight for Melbourne. Formerly at North Melbourne and Collingwood. Steins from behind, they lock horns. Longmire's been good tonight. King, it's a hurried kick back to 50. Scholl and Sean Smith. Be keen and happy to see it just go back over the line.
He also started his footy at North Melbourne. So many players these days go from one club to another, end up playing against one of their old clubs on a number of occasions. Steins and Longmire front spot. Viney was very good early tonight and pushes the ball out of play. What's the latest on Wayne Carey,
Yeah, Bruce, the good news is that obviously they put his shoulder back in place, and he's still in a bit of pain at the moment, but they won't know until you know, the day's finished here.
Thanks, Dip, and keep an eye on McKernan too. I mean, chances of the two of them going off in those circumstances are very high, and they'd make anybody who loves North Melbourne feel pretty sick right now. The kick to centre wing, Chandler and Viney. Viney again getting a possession, but that one not good. Out of bounds on the full. Didn't have a lot of room to work in. A couple of minutes to go before half-time. Important minutes. Melbourne 4-5, 3-3. A goal either way would make a huge difference here. If Melbourne could go in 2.5 in front, but if North can get back within a kick, then we're back to square one.
Chandler playing his first game also for North Melbourne. Smith's a high flyer, thumps the ball away. It's a sign of strength at ground level. North Melbourne. Gaspar. Done some nice things tonight, Gaspar. That was silly play, got back off the mark. Could be costly. Bouncing. Nettlebeck right on the line. Forces it through for a point.
Although Melbourne have outscored North Melbourne in this second quarter, North Melbourne have still had more of the ball in their forward line than Melbourne.
Gaspar went off his line. It was silly play.
The ultimate penalty there.
Clarkson kicks the ball wide. Four 5-29 Melbourne. North Melbourne 3-4-22. Jeff Farmer, the only multiple goal kicker with 2 goals in the first term. As the time clock ticks away, it's not a minute and a half to go in this second term. Goal for both sides, very important. Rock centres the ball, looking for Anderson. Been on and off the ground, inside the centre square. They've got a focal point on the forward line, North Melbourne. Smith's been desperate. Scholl, he's kicked the goal. Can he produce a bit of magic? On the half-time sign around the corner. Nettlebeck once more. Last line of defence.
Getting back as he did a moment ago. So a couple of good saves for Nettlebeck. Kicks the ball outside 50. Steins the target. Longmire went early. Anderson getting a bit of the footy. Back inside 50. Crocker a target. We're just hoping someone can take a mark in the absence of Carey and McKernan. Smith belts it away towards the line and out of play. So North coming back now in the last 5 or 6 minutes of this second quarter, and Melbourne under siege and trying to hang on to this little lead they have.
North Melbourne probably not getting enough from their crumbing type players in this first half of football either.
Crowd's built up a fair bit since the start of play. It's quite a handy one now in very ordinary conditions. Hot day in Melbourne. Storm was promised from about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock this afternoon. Look at that little kid there having a look, and all smiles with his mum. Lovett. Phoebe. Chandler runs across in front, and again a boundary throw-in. Seconds remaining now in the first half. Melbourne leading 4-5 to 3-4. What a dramatic start to the 1997 season. The 2 of maybe the 3 best players in the competition, both on the bench, and Carey's case off the ground completely, with what could be serious injuries and have serious repercussions for this champion club of 1996. Concludes the opening half of footy. What's going to be a long and exciting season. And Neil Baum and his men will be very happy that they're 7 points in front, knowing that Dennis Pagan can't call on McKernan or Garry. Well, he's a poker face, isn't he? He didn't let us know what was going through that mind, but surely the blood was running through his veins just a little more quickly than they would have been in a normal situation when he saw his greatest player being taken from the field in Wayne Carey.
Bruce, he'll be trying to pull a positive from this. He'll be saying to his players at half-time, OK, there's no McKernan, there's no Garry. The press tell us that we're a two-man side. Let's get out there in the second half and let's make a name for ourselves as a team without two of our stars in the side. Melbourne done a terrific job in the first half. Neil Baum will be very happy with what he's seen in that first half, and he'll be saying there's no Garry, there's no McKernan. A great opportunity for us to beat North Melbourne.
So at half-time it's 4-5 Melbourne, 3-4 North. Half-time at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, North 3-4, Melbourne 4-5. Farmer, the only man to have kicked more than one goal tonight, with 2 for the Demons. There's Wayne Carey. Has his shoulder strapped up by the look of it, an arm in a sling, and coming off the ground. At least he's going to be able to sit on the interchange and watch his team in a symbolic gesture, I'd say, with Corey McKernan alongside of him. And look at McKernan limping. That is the worst sight you could imagine from a North Melbourne point of view, Dipper, with the two champs coming off the ground together.
Yeah, certainly, Bruce. We don't want to see this with any players, but these two great players. But I'm more concerned about Corey McKernan. Obviously, with Wayne Carey doing his shoulder, he's got to be out for 3 or 4. But with Corey McKernan, he's a question mark. And, North Melbourne is still in this game, but take nothing away from Melbourne. They certainly played the game hard tonight. They keep pushing the ball. And Garry Lyon is certainly fired up. He's tight his side. They keep tackling and put the pressure on.
Start of the second half. The 4 points up for grabs here. North trailing by 7 points. The champion team of 1996 with their 2 champions sideline. It's where it could be 1-2, isn't it, in the centre here now.
And Bruce, Archer has gone to full forward for North Melbourne.
Well, 52 goals in the last couple of years for Archer when he's gone forward. He can kick a bag. He's kicked 5 on a few occasions. Free kick for North, Longmire. As Kevin said a couple of times, he's been pretty good tonight. Belted to centre half forward, Nettlebeck, Danilchenko, Scott. Belted forward by Archer. Gasper, Bell onto it. Gasper back, Bell off the ground. No, couldn't get his foot to it. And Melbourne concede a behind. And the margin is reduced to 6 points. Just one straight kick in it there. Is a picture that I think will be on every news service in Australia tomorrow. Corey McKernan and Wayne Carey side by side. 23-29 the score here. And gee, what a victory this could be for North Melbourne, and to build on for the rest of the year if they can win without their 2 champions. Viney made the lead, but it was read pretty well by North. The kick by Scott to full forward, and Archer claiming it, but it did come from Smith building it through. So Melbourne lead now by 5 points.
A couple of hair-raising kick-outs by Gaspar in the game in the first half. Maybe a bit lucky that time to D's. So Gaspar once more, take 2. Finds Lyon Chelly. Been pretty handy. He kicks the ball back towards the wing. Floppy old kick has been marked by Longmire. I think it's just been terrific tonight. Considering he's come back after missing most of last year. High fly behind was Smith at ground level. Archer, he'll give some bite to the forward line. He's been bowled over. Stevenson's kick ricochets back. Going in hard was Lovett. Allison tried to get it as well. Tingay, quick kick back to the centre square. Mighty Mick Martin, can he trap it? Then kicks the ball off the ground to Matthew Phoebe. So Melbourne go forward. Lately backing back with Farmer. He's kicked 2 goals at ground level. He's dynamite. The Wizard inside 50. Right on the line, King, a sensational mark. Would have been an absolute team lifter for Melbourne. So King thumps the ball back. Woewodin. It's been a fine.
It came straight on Kevin took a mark across half back there, and he hasn't looked out of place at all tonight.
Goes short, looking for Lyon. He's got the skipper. What an important kick as rain starts to tumble down the MCG. Garry Lyon yet to kick a goal tonight. Seventh season as captain of Melbourne. Twice he's been the best and fairest All-Australian, playing game 199 tonight. 376 goals in his career from 50. This is an important kick. He's pushed it right. Through for one behind.
The captain and then the coach, the two men who went to Western Australia to get Jeff Farmer to come back and play this year. That was a good playing trip, wasn't it? King, what a mark a moment ago. It was inspirational play from both Farmer and King. Here's Clarkson. Under pressure, Nettlebeck. Good tackle by Anderson. Kick by Scott to centre wing. Scholl. Fine season forward last year. Former best and fairest. Archer. It's going to be paid. He can belt the ball a long way, Archie. He's got Allison running into the goal square, and he kicks towards full forward. Allison, Hopgood terrific in the opening half, and a boundary throw in. Hopgood belting the ball into the behind post. There's Archer.
A wasted kick in the end, and that's perhaps what Dennis Pagan is telling to the runner, to go out there and tell Glenn Archer to keep that ball at the top of the square. Don't kick it to the pocket.
Steins and Longmire. Well, there's a free kick here, and it's going to Steins. Longmire grabbing hold of his arm, the umpire saying. And Steins, who had plenty of the football in the first half, but he's had a few opponents now with McKernan and Roberts and Longmire. Here's Stevens after the Melbourne play. Looked like he might have had a shove in the back to centre half forward. At the back, Freeborn brought it to ground. Scott measured the handball pretty well. Scholl's handball was a bit hot for Chandler. Well done, Smith, who's done that pretty well tonight by using his athleticism to get and spoil. Some quick hands by Viney and also by Tingay, and coming out to Pyman, who kicked, rather Leoncelli, who kicks it out of play.
Bruce, I get the feeling that if North Melbourne are to win this game, they've got to start getting some goals out of their Crumming-type players. Scott, Rock, Stevens, Allison, these sorts of players, Chandler, must participate in that forward region.
The only fit player on North Melbourne's bench is Crocker.
Just to butt in, KB, I was thinking a moment ago, the last time these two clubs met, between them, Carey and McKernan kicked 16 goals, 11 Carey and 5 McKernan, and absolutely dominated.
Melbourne stay with Pyman, Ops and Brett Lovell on the interchange. Milbaum hasn't used it a lot tonight. Happy with the result so far. Lovett. Tingay slaps it off the ground. It's forced over the line. 4-6-30 Melbourne. North Melbourne 3-6-24. So Melbourne with a couple of chances early in this third term. One from Farmer, one from Garry Lyon. But North Melbourne, their famed fighting spirit will certainly be tested tonight in this third term. Scholl loses control. Smith caught. Great tackle by Scholl. Ball's forced once more over the line by Viney. Craig Scholl has been on and off the interchange bench. He's kicked a goal in that second quarter. So an important role in play now with Archer. No McKernan, no Carey. Blakey just throws the ball on the boot. Thump forward by Chandler. Good play by Smith. Ricochets back to Anderson. So North Melbourne continue to pump the ball. High fly was Danilchenko from behind. Big fist away. So just 25 metres around from North Melbourne's goal. Jason Danilchenko missed out in the finals last year. Got dropped after round 21. Promising player. Has kicked 5 goals in a league game. Can he be a match winner tonight? North Melbourne needs someone to stand up and be counted. Phoebe, Stephen. It's a wild kick out of bounds on the full.
So North will bring it back in through Peter Bell. Kicks to centre half forward. Longmire was caught underneath it. Nettlebeck's taken the mark.
It's been good since Carey went off.
It would be a relief if you got the champ on you. That's a bad kick. lucky, and Gasper stood his ground pretty well, and then chips to Steins, or even wider. No, Jimmy's got it. He had another Melbourne player out there with him in Woewodin, and typical Steins kick off one pace finds Clarkson. Melbourne with a chance. Woewodin running on. They've just got to be accurate here, and Woewodin didn't to make it, and the ball is out of play. But in Melbourne's attacking zone, 4 kicks, 4 marks, 2 handballs. He's made a very promising debut. Shane Woewodin, the only rookie out there tonight, the only player in his first AFL premiership game for either club. Phoebe, high tackle by Scott, quick kick by Bell. Well done, Nettlebeck. Got rid of Vidanichenko. Had a good year last year after he couldn't make it at all in Perth at Fremantle after playing in Sydney. Bell, well done. Stevens belts it back to 50, but Gasper, with Archer not taking part behind, and Gasper able to take it on his chest. Gives up the handball pretty quickly. Across to Nettlebeck. He's got a shoelace undone as he comes away. Kicks the ball wide, wants Clarkson. They need a bounce now. Well done, Ingerson. Clarkson to full forward. Lyon a target in the front spot. Oh, brilliant. Absolutely superb. Vintage. This one champion looks on and he sees another at his top. Ablett's taken a lot of marks like that over the years, hasn't he? Lyon, just a great feel for the game.
Under extreme pressure here.
Well, this is a big kick, isn't it? We've said he's had a couple of chances. This is his best chance to goal. Garry Lyon to give the Melbourne team a bit of a break, and he's put it straight through the middle. That have left him in more ways than one. The goal and the fact that Lyon did it. It's 5-6 to 3-6.
With Lorraine Pierce of Kangaroos, Andy Knuckles, A6, round 4, Olympic stand, please. Louise Pierce
from
of
Nettlebeck to get the ball, mark the ball across half back, and Clarkson is a busy player. And just terrific body work then by Garry Lyon to hold Martin Pike.
The Demons lead by 12 points. Lyon's first goal of the match. Steins to Clarkson. Burrows in over the ball. So the Demon supporters starting to oil up the voice boxes. Not much to cheer about last year. There's Barry Richardson sitting alongside Neil Barn, both former premiership players with Richmond. Matty Rendell, former Lion. The Brisbane Bear, Ruckman, now ruck coach in the background. Freeborn goes to the ground. Melbourne pumping forward. Needs could take a high flying mark. Charles, the boy from Powtown, kicks a goal. Well, that'll be great for his confidence as well, Tim. He races off the ground.
Must have gone out to him before that passage of play, but you just get the feeling that if Melbourne can get the ball into their forward line quickly, because of the number of players they've had down there with good pace, Farmer, Charles, good one-on-one players such as Lyon and Neitz, then they will be able to score quickly, and North Melbourne have to go forward now and score.
3-6-6-6. Melbourne with a chance to break this game open. Anderson's kick out wide. Must get the next one, North. Didn't think we'd be saying that tonight when we arrived at the ground. Stevens, Nettlebeck. And Melbourne now odds on to win. Would have to be. North's lowest score last year was in round 7 against West Coast. As we see Charles had a heap of wrist problems over the last couple of years. Their lowest score was 7-16 last year in round 7 against West Coast. They're stuck on 3 goals here. They've been on 3 goals for a long time. Their last goal was at the 4-minute mark of the second quarter when Scholl scored. So Longmire is at full forward, and Steins has gone back with him just for the moment, though it looks like Nettlebeck might come back. So the ball at half forward, Melbourne in attack.
Chandler paddles the ball towards Stevens.
And Dennis Pagan's been robbed now, Kevin, of the flexibility, because he's got 2 players on the interchange bench who can't come onto the ground, and it really is going to hamstring him.
Martin over the top. Brett Lovett's on the ground for Melbourne. Then Lovett climbs off the deck.
Tonight, the Capuano, I know not good conditions for a tall man, but this is where the Capuano injury was going to be a big one if a McKernan or a Carey didn't stand up all year.
Exactly. They've got the problem now of being able to play that next big player. They're trying to manufacture something out there tonight with Roberts and also Longmire going onto the ball. And that Chewy is getting a good work over tonight.
Lovett. It's a wild kick. Clarkson couldn't handle it. Ingerson falls over. Critical moment. Clarkson recovers. The ball forward. Is that a free kick or a mark to Melbourne? Tingay.
He reckons he took it.
So it's going to be a ball up over the top. Also was Blakey. So still another chance for Melbourne. Tingay caught. Another ball up. Just 15 metres out from Melbourne's goal. Seven kicks, 5 handballs tonight. Lyon, can he kick it off the ground? He can't. Rush through for 1 point.
And that is a dangerous practice from so long out from goal, so far out from goal, to try and knock the ball back through the behinds, as we see Corey McKernan's ear there sitting on the boundary line. Of course, he won't take any further part of this game.
King finds Stevens, good kick. Stevens goes long to centre wing. Danilchenko, Melbourne with good numbers though, and with plenty of height with both Ingerson and Steins there, and out of play. Gasper running back, 16 games in his 2 seasons. Well, Barmy must sense that this is just the start that Melbourne wanted in 1997. They can get a fantastic start to the year. Viney deemed to be too aggressive there on Anderson. Back, kicks the ball neatly to centre wing. Archer had 3 Melbourne opponents, and Nettlebeck, who continues to get hold of the ball, takes a mark unopposed in the end to Gasper with plenty of time to stand and deliver to centre half forward. Neats has played a small role. If he gets stuck into the game, then watch out. Around the body, getting back Scott, good mark.
He had to take that too. Farmer was bearing down on that ball.
Goes wide. Longmire. Hopgood on the mark. So Longmire between half-back and centre wing for North. Kicks the ball to half-forward.
He's been North Melbourne's best player. Smith up high. Couldn't hang on to the Sherrin. Rocket ground level. Trying to set it up. Goes back towards the edge of the centre square. Danilchenko. Hands and knees. Archer to Anderson. So a chance for North Melbourne.
I guess the difficulty now with North Melbourne's game plan is it has been built around Wayne Carey and having that dominant force in your forward line. Now they haven't got him. They're still bowling the ball forward, but they just haven't had anyone there of any strength across centre half forward. Now they've got to try and manufacture goals from their smaller type players. They've got to get the ball down there quickly, and they've got to work the ball around the pack situations.
So Anderson will be kicking from 45 metres directly in front. His teammates like it.
Not dead yet, are they? 4, 6, 6, 7.
They're still in this game, North Melbourne. They've still had the ball in their forward line on more occasions than Melbourne have, but Melbourne have just looked more dangerous when they've had the ball in their own forward line, because they've had those quicker players across half forward. And I think if there's one weakness in North Melbourne's side, it is perhaps a slower back line.
So North get their first goal since the 4-minute mark of the second term, late in this, the third quarter. Forward, Brett Lovett on the ground. Crocker, good tackle. Farmer's been brilliant tonight to full forward. Chingay held onto by Blakey. No free. Taken by Brett Lovett. Tries to hook it back. Kicks the ball out of bounds on the 4. Next 8 minutes will tell us so much, won't it, in this match?
Farmer is such an exciting player, isn't he? Every time he goes near the ball, you think something is going to happen.
North certainly not out of this. And whoever gets the best of the next 8 minutes or so going into three-quarter time, if Melbourne can increase their lead, you doubt whether North can give them more than 3. Free kick against North. So Viney. Melbourne still not putting them away. 6-7 to 4-6. Viney kicks the ball to about 35 metres. Neats. Shoal well done. Blakey in the last line. Took a hard knock. Strong mark by Ingerson. He's probably outside his range here. He's going to kick from 50. Give it everything he's got. It's not bad. It's right there. Neats. Good grab. Behind. Forced over. There've been a lot of those tonight for both teams. Plenty of them as Melbourne are 6 goals, 8, and North are 4-6.
Well, Nietzsche yet to take a mark tonight. He's just had the 2 kicks and 3 handballs. Hasn't kicked a goal. Kicked 56 last year. Stein stumps the ball back. That's good play. Viney couldn't handle it. Laidley, it's a quick kick out of defence. Plenty of pressure. Stein stands his ground. Take the VC. King at ground level. Pumps North Melbourne back to 50. Bad bounce for Allison. Another bad bounce. Favours Gaspar. So lucks of fortune there for Melbourne. Nettlebeck has grown a leg since Carey's gone off. Clarkson can go over the top. Stein's turned his back. Leon Chally down from the half-back. Confidence growing to the half-forward line. Lyon, the skipper. Back to Steins. Good Gaelic action there from Jimmy Steins as Lovett slides it over the line.
Free kick over the shoulder.
Chance goes short, got 2 to beat. Bumped away, Lyon. Tries to kick it off the ground. So the North Melbourne defence going to be tested now in this last 6.5 minutes. Shoal. Spin at both ends of the ground. Tumbles the ball back up to the half-forward line. Johnny Longmire, who's been all over the ground. Full back in the ruck, full forward. It's the big hope, along with mighty Mick Martin, who's played a terrific game on Neats. Been their best 2 tonight. See Stephen Tingay taking a break on the interchange bench. 6-8-44 Melbourne. North Melbourne 4-6-30. Throw in some 55 metres. Around from goal. Steins. On the tap, Archer. It's been moved to the forward line, started in defence. Free kick called on. And he's got it. So young Leon Chally gives it across to Nettlebeck, who's becoming a launching pad across half-back. Kicks a high ball, Neats. Still can't take that mark. Farmer, magic to Stephen Phoebe. Great kick. Distance is there. Goal to Melbourne. Touched on the line. Well, it looked like it was home to me. But great defensive play in the end. Just how close was this?
Farmer the ball almost spilling out his hands on that occasion. And this one just...
Gee. I'll leave it to you, Timmy.
Charles, snap, he's got it, another one. He's second for the quarter. Well, maybe poetic justice, because the other one looked like it might have been through. The Phoebe goal, or kick, did look like it was a goal. And now that scoreboard is suddenly starting to look lopsided, isn't it? 7-9, 4-6.
Well, it's the greatest break they've had tonight, and Charles is a player very similar to Farmer. They don't need to touch the ball very often, but they do create goals, they create scoring opportunities, and he's an exciting talent, this player that Melbourne would dearly love to have more of this year.
51-30, the big margin of the night. Sean Charles and Jeff Farmer, the danger men up forward for the Demons. Clarkson doing a lot of the heavy work in the centre with Viney. And it's going to be a throw-up. Well, it did look a goal, didn't it, the Stephen Phoebe kick. There's Archer, who went to the interchange after giving away a free kick on Leon Chally. Jumping early, Danilchenko, Steins, Brett Lovett, Anderson, well done, to Longmire, to Roberts, some experience here. Roberts, the oldest player out there for North Melbourne. Brett Lovett tries to cut it off, gets a second go. Handball was excellent under pressure to Phoebe. Wobbly, it might work though. Neats has a second go, lays it off. Phoebe through again, this time Matthew at 30 metres, goes to ground, North all over him. King off the ground, and a boundary throw in at 50. North standing up by a thin thread at the moment. They cannot afford another goal. Roberts on the phone.
And Roberts would be getting a bit of a blast from coach Dennis Pagan for chipping that ball across into the central corridor. That is not part of their game plan.
Janachenko and Ingerson. King. Laidley. Forced out of play. Must be difficult for North going forward with no Carey at centre-half forward to stick to the game plan and to be consistent.
Melbourne by 21 points. Certainly Sean Charles with 2 goals. Jeff Farm with 2. Both been live wires at ground level. Stevens from half-back, back inside the centre square. Longmire. Just been great. Kicks long, so the race is on. Who'll get there first? Lyon. He's been very good tonight. Finds his mark there in Smith. Poor kick, great smother by Freeborn. Can North Melbourne turn it over? They can't. Lyon rubs it along the ground. Plenty of support from Hopgood. Back to Woewodin. Needs clean hands. Kicks the ball back to the edge of the centre square. Was that a push out? Not paid. Melbourne supporters wanted a free kick. Mighty Mick always in the action. Danilchenko couldn't take the mark. Bell tried to tap it on. Jimmy Steins all tied up. Got a ball up right on the point of the centre square. 7:09:51 Melbourne. North 4:6:30. 3 minutes of action left in this third term. Clever play by Danilchenko. Lands in the arms of Smith. He's been desperate. And he plays one way. This is great vision. Finds Clarkson. The options start to open up. In front is Ingerson. He's got it. The lead is on. Space has been made. Charles. Bit of pace on the forward line means a lot, Tim.
It just gives you that yard or two, doesn't it? And good play then by Garry Lyon. We probably won't see it on the screen, but Garry Lyon moved back against Pike just to push off again from Pike. And in the end, he really was there as a foil to King as well.
So from just inside 50. What a kick. He's drilled it.
That's 3 goals in the quarter to Sean Charles. Garry Lyon having a fatherly word to him, also giving some advice there to David King about how perhaps he should go about minding him, and King probably trying to get Charles' mind off the job. Not much in that at all. Not much in that.
Eight, 9, 4-6. Charles with 3 goals in the third quarter, splitting this game open. And the Demons with a huge lead now on a night like tonight.
And they've been terrific, haven't they?
Yep.
They really have put a lot of pressure on. Even before Carey and McKernan left the ground, they were applying a lot of pressure to North Melbourne.
They started brilliantly within a minute, didn't they, with a Farmer and a goal. And as you say, they were competitive before the 2 great ones left the field. They were in front of quarter time, and both McKernan and Carey were there for the whole of the first quarter. Viney trying to break through. Gee, I'm reluctant to say it, but it's almost a match-winning lead, isn't it? But you've got to be careful. I said North were home in the Answer Cup against Geelong 2 weeks ago and had egg on my face. But 4.5 goals tonight. Something has to open up quickly for North to win. They have to find an avenue for goals that they just haven't had. Viney coming through. Roberts wide. Laidley. Put it this way, if North were 8-9 and Melbourne were 4-6, it would be all over. It's just that this is the champion team, and you don't count them out too quickly, do you?
And Melbourne will be a very competitive side this year if they can keep that forward line intact.
And a win here tonight would be a huge boost to their stocks all year. This will carry them through the first month of football.
Well, that early season momentum is so important in a season of AFL football, coming off a woeful year like they had in 1996.
Viney, it's been good. He'll be pretty happy, I think, to see it out. And Melbourne play Collingwood here next Friday night. So that could be a huge game for both clubs. Collingwood will be favoured on Saturday against the newcomers, Port Power. meets. Blakey's quick kick. Brett Lovett with the chance.
The veteran of 218 games. Spent most of the game on the interchange bench. Can he set it up to Hopgood? Great tackle by Allison. Not rewarded. Forces the ball forward. Chance for Pipe. Seconds ticking away. North need a goal before three-quarter time. Kicks long. Leon Challey. Cool as a cucumber in defence. The youngster. Earning his stripes tonight. Jimmy Steins. Kicks a poor one to Scott. Still a chance for North Melbourne. 6 seconds left. Scott's kick bouncing. Rashing in there is Viney. He's the spirit of Melbourne. He's forced it through for a point. And he's wobbled the goalpost at the same time. Great quarter by the D's.
They stretch that lead from 7 to 26. Have a look at Viney again. Now eyes only for the footy, knowing the situation. Bang. Glad they patted Tim.
Yeah, it's a good idea to get that padding on. And North Melbourne, as they enter the huddle, they've got plenty of problems leading into this last quarter. Melbourne have looked dangerous every time they've taken the ball forward, and they really haven't been able to stop Farmer. They haven't been able to stop Charles. And Garry Lyon is a player who you just always think may kick a goal when the ball gets down there.
So three-quarter time, Melbourne over North. It's 8-9 to 4-7. Some great shots behind them of the young people who love the game so much in their footy jumpers. So the rude boy wounded tonight, but has been found. The kick to centre half forward. Viney getting the kick out of the centre. Phoebe wants a free kick. Not there. Blakey off the ground, out of play. Ingerson courageously across the boot. What a good player Blakey's been for North Melbourne. 5th season there, so consistent, rewarded with a premiership last year. Nicky Martin. And those words of Dennis Pagan, Tim, that I read in The Age today. We live for the present and plan for the future, and we don't want to look back too much. Well, they've rung true here tonight. This is going to be a tough season for North Melbourne already. I think it's fair to say. Win or lose tonight, they're going to come out of this match with 2 huge casualties and some uncertainty, particularly McKernan with that knee again.
Well, we'll just see how good that second rung, or that second tier of North Melbourne players are.
Melbourne going forward, Blakey, Clarkson, Farmer, who at times tonight has been the difference between the two teams with his sure ball handling and his ability to break a line in what were earlier tonight atrocious conditions for this match. But it's 31 to 57.
So Martin's played on Neitz all night. He's done very well under the circumstances. Chandler. It's a high ball back. Roberts. So Melbourne have been ferocious. Blakey, cross half back. Kicks it. High fly. Stood his ground well was Brett Lovett. Over the top also was Sean Smith.
There'll be a lot of...
Has no fears, does he?
He does have no fear whatsoever. Getting some early frequent fly points.
Stephen Phoebe always wins a lot of possessions. Rock just scrubs the ball on the ground. Roberts, centre wing position. Once more they kick the ball long, but they don't have the 2 superstars down there to take the mark. Smith gets plenty of support. Roberts tumbles the ball forward on 50. North Melbourne need an early goal just to lift the confidence, just to keep their spirits high. They're fighting hard. Crashed into the ground was Longmire. Steins, cool under pressure, back to Smith. Kick was poor. Stevens thumps it forward, backing back. Nettlebeck, no mark paid. Allison over the top. That's a ball up, just 15 metres from goal. Craig Nettlebeck had his hands full early in the game. Wayne Carey kicked a goal. First few minutes of the opening term looked to be very dangerous, but since he's got off the ground, Nettlebeck has been a star. Scholl, quick snap, important kick, is off target.
.25 points the margin. Scholl with a second quarter goal. Got to get the first here, North, to have any hope at all. Gasper to bring it back. He's been shaky on these tonight. Comes wide, looks safe. Clarkson, that's a good kick. Got to him at 50. A lot of possessions again, Clarkson. So he started 97 as he went through 96. He's getting a heap of the footy. Phoebe to centre wing. Stephen Phoebe trying to take the mark from Matthews' kick. That's Chandler back to half forward. Roberts traps it, gets a second go, tries to paddle in front. Melbourne with good numbers. Lovett hip and shoulder, but they're giving it up now. Scott with a chance across to Anderson. Anderson breaks the tackle. Freeborn's got to kick a goal. Round the body, misses. Just gets it behind in the end. Not all that difficult. Probably could have straightened up.
He needed to take an extra couple of steps. He tried to kick off 1 or 2 steps around his body. He needed to turn his left shoulder back in towards the goal and straighten up a bit. Give himself a proper chance of kicking a major.
4-9 to 8-9.
So Melbourne by 4 goals. Smith in the back pocket. Played defence all night. He's looking for Steins, his target. Back of the pack, Melbourne. Been good at ground level. Stephen Phoebe kicks to 50. Neitz is there, so's Mighty Mick. So the better of Neitz tonight. Twice the best and fairest winner at North Melbourne. Michael Tuck medalist as well. High flyer Scholl, he's got it. So they've been crying out to take a mark across the half-forward line. They need to get the ball moving quickly. Scholl. It's a poorly directed kick. It might suit Roberts. Comes back to Freeborn. Can he set it up? Great vision. Allison's going to kick a goal. North still in this game.
They just persist, North Melbourne, don't they? They keep on persisting. Banging the ball forward, kicking the ball to space. And they are going to have to manufacture goals tonight, but good vision then by Freeborn.
Back to 3 goals, so North are going to make Melbourne win it by the look of it. They're not going to let them just stagger over the line. They're going to come at them hard in this last quarter. Stevens to fall forward. Oh, wonderful mark by little girl. One hander going backwards. The game is still alive.
And we talk so much about how important it is to get a centre bounce break, but really it's what the game is all about, isn't it? If you can get the ball into your forward line quickly, you've got that opportunity of having one-on-one.
Has to kick the goal, and he's made an absolute mess of it. Well, what a disappointment for young Peter Bell and for North Melbourne. That and Dennis Pagan, just the eyes and the shake of the head. That was a big, big kick in this match. Gasper wide. Melbourne just a little shaky, though, at the moment. Sensing a victory and not quite knowing how to take it.
Do they believe in themselves?
If they go very defensive here, they may have a problem. And the feeling early in this quarter is that they've played a bit negatively.
Well, they've only had the ball in their forward line once in this last quarter.
They're going to have to score to make a good thing of this. They're 3 in front in a low-scoring match, but North will keep doing the things that have got them so far in the last few years. There's Scholl to Scott. Kick to fall forward. Roberts. Has he? Yes. Free kick. Holding on. Now he won't miss. He'll kick a goal and bring them within 2.
There's one thing we can be certain of. North Melbourne always believe they can win the game. And you find that in all top sides, no matter what the situation is, no matter how far they're down, you just have this great belief in yourself that as the game progresses, you will actually get up and win the game. North Melbourne would believe that.
Roberts from 40 metres, straight in front. Well, I don't believe it. He's one of their best kicks. How many chances do they need here? Not at all happy. Their most famous supporter out there. 5, 10, 8, 9.
But it's under 3 goals, 17 points. Gaspar kicks wide, looking for Steins. You got 3 to beat Clarkson at ground level. He's got 3 to beat and does it well. Keeps forcing the ball along the boundary line. Unfortunately out of bounds on the full. Anderson from centre wing to 50. Smith. Big punch away. Jimmy Steins gets good support from Viney. Just slides over the line. So a good duel tonight as we see Pyman on the interchange bench with Andrew Ops and Stephen Phoebe. Steins, fresh air shot. Take 2. Chandler should be forced over the line. Viney in the end, happy to see it go over. So Melbourne buying themselves a little bit of time. Just over 14 minutes in this last term to go. An anxious Melbourne supporter. North within 17 points. And you just get the feeling if they can just kick the next goal, they will really start coming home strongly.
And Kevin, you also get the feeling they're trying to save the game rather than trying to win the game.
Steins and Longmire. Rock. It's a hurried kick. Matthew Phoebe just punches the ball once more for a boundary throw-in.
Anthony Stevens, 14 kicks. It's the North Melbourne supporters. They're here every week, been for many years. That group of women cheering their team on. Clarkson, well done. They would have cheered Alastair one day, a couple of years ago. King. At halfback now, straightens up, floats it into the centre. Scott on hands and knees. Farmer's tackle, reasonably effective though. Scott, well done. To Rock. Rock out wide. Freeborn, ridden into the ground. Free kick. Big chance again for North now. Their players have sensed an opportunity. Freeborn to the pocket. Roberts, their big target. Coming across Viney. Smith under pressure. Took a long time. Allison off the ground and behind. He is one of those players who can do something out of the ordinary and score a goal when least expected. They're coming home 5-11, so 1-4 to no score in the final term. 5 scoring shots. Gaspar short. Melbourne are having trouble getting it past centre. Here's Lyon, one of the best for Melbourne tonight. He's kicked the ball long every time he's had the opportunity. Longmire got rid of Steins. Steins doesn't like it. Longmire to centre half forward. And the mark paid to Smith. Rock unhappy. Smith holding his ground and taking the mark at centre half back. The Demons need something positive to happen up forward.
Just too big that time. Smith needs. Struggle to take a mark tonight against Mick Martin. Viney short to Lovett. He's got a loose player wide. This is great vision. Great play by Stephen. Scott back. Wonderful spoil. Chance. Neats caught by Martin. Clarkson runs onto the ball. Ladley. Bear hug. Archer.
He's playing a free kick.
He's coming back.
No, he's not playing a free kick. He's going to bounce the ball.
So a ball up, just 20 metres out from goal, by Andrew Malcolm. Melbourne's last score, 25-minute mark of the third term. Quick snap, bounce through. It's a goal. Lovett, who has spent most of the game on the interchange bench, the 218-game veteran, has he given Melbourne the breathing space they want?
Look, it's a game of chances, this football. On that occasion, Melbourne took their chances. It's only the second time they've had the ball inside their 50-metre arc in this last quarter. North Melbourne have been doing and making all the play, haven't been able to score. They take it down there and they kick a 6-pointer.
Now it looks like there's another free kick for Melbourne to Jeff Farmer, and they're going to get 2 goals in 1 here. David King on the mark. So the Lovett goal, which was very fortuitous from Melbourne's point of view. He dropped the ball onto the boot in a haphazard fashion under great pressure, and the ball bounced through, and then Farmer must have been interfered with after the ball across the line, given another kick. He kicks his third goal and surely has sealed the fate of this match. North Melbourne will not get back from here. 10-9 to 5-11. And Charles and Farmer between them have kicked 6 of the 10 goals. There's King and Farmer. Just, having a chat, almost making up, you'd think there. 41 to 69. Out of the centre, Rock to full forward. Chance for Smith. Oh, what a dramatic night this has been. The first night of the 1997 season. Farmer's been brilliant. His handball stretched Tingay a bit, but he was good enough. It took the one extra step, maybe the fact that he had to leap up and take the ball. King to Laidley, to half forward to Scholl. Free kick, no. Smith went early. His give was okay. Woewodin, not a good kick this time. Stevens has got it in the centre. Goes to Roberts. He's a good kick. Couldn't make it. Left foot round the body, misses again. It's a behind. North has had some chances in the last quarter, but the gap looks to be too big anyway now at 5-12 to 10-9.
Big game for Melbourne tonight. Just 7 games won last year, finishing 14th, playing the reigning premiers. Big summer. Club was saved from joining with Hawthorn. So this is the perfect start for Melbourne. Woewodin kicks the ball back towards the half-back line. Scholl couldn't hang on to it. It worked hard, Melbourne. Tingay around the corner. It's been great. Farmer with a bit of magic. This time, good play by King. Forces him over the line. Actually, before the game, Tim, we mentioned with Charles and Farmer on the forward line, gave him that small man power, the running legs, and with the Neats and Lyons and also Ingerson up there, it looked a nice balance.
They looked dangerous, didn't they? When they lined up, they looked like a dangerous combination, and that's exactly what's proven here tonight.
So a chance, Phoebe, Matthew is forced back over the line as well.
The other thing that's impressed me tonight about the way Melbourne played is it's been a direct style of football, Kevin. In the past, we've seen them try and over-possess the ball, but tonight they seem to have thrown all that out the window. Perhaps that's something they've been working on over the summer. And if they can be a more efficient side, which they've shown tonight, then they're going to trouble some sides this year.
Rock's kick back into the centre. Smith's got it. Very serviceable game. Back to Nettlebeck. Took his time. Danilchenko closed. Good kick. Charles. Yeah. No, not paid. Gee, had a lot of it. Pearl to Laidley. Streaming forward to full forward. Freeborn at the back. Smith courageously in the front. They'll concede a behind for the umpteenth time tonight. 5 goals, 13 to 10-9.
I saw Mark Taylor paid a slips catch over the summer where he didn't hold the ball as much as this one by Charles.
He nearly kicked it up like Mark Taylor to himself as well.
43 to 69.
Hops back onto the ground. You see Pyman also starting to warm up. Tingay on the interchange bench with Stephen Phoebe. Steins and Longmire. Longmire's been good for North Melbourne. Missed the finals last year. It's the one good thing to come out of tonight's game is the form of Johnny Longmire. Chandler there just holding his face. Todd Viney. Tough in the clinches. Look at the Melbourne supporters. Not much to cheer about last year. 1997 looks full of hope. Obst, just in one game. It's a fickle game football. Viney on centre wing to the half-forward line. Ingerson's the target. Neats at ground level. He's battled hard all night, Neats, but he's been beaten by Martin. But he has contested hard, and he's been part of that 3-man pronged attack of Melbourne this year, particularly in this opening game of the season. Martin. 3 Melbourne players to 1 North Melbourne player. That might tell a story. So 55 metres out from Melbourne's goal. Obst to Charles. Neats with a quick kick. Playing in front. was Lovett. Bowled over by Archer at ground level. Pyman just on. Back to Lovett. Glenn Lovett around the corner. Through for a minor score.
Garry Lyon short too at centre-half forward. And, didn't use him. It's been quite nice, Glenn Lovett. A couple of kicks in the last quarter. King. 10-10 to 5-13. Goes for distance. Long mile. Well done. Belted it at the back. Gave his running players a chance. Steins is such an athlete and so versatile that he's able to contest. Anderson building it long. Scholl with great courage. Kept his eye on it, and so did Nettlebeck. Bell. Leoncelli tries to hold him up. Bell with a high ball back in. Roberts with the sit, and Danilchenko comes to ground. Pyman. Nettlebeck. Glenn Lovett. And he'll be pretty happy to see it go over. So time now very much against North. 27 points behind. What a story tonight. Wayne Carey, captain of this great club, having been carried from the ground in the second quarter with what looked to be a pretty serious shoulder injury, and he sat it out after half-time. And the Carey-McKernan wash-up is going to be the biggest story from this match. Sure, Melbourne's win, and it seems inevitable, was a great one for them, but really the repercussions from McKernan and Carey will tell a tale. Not good there. It's been good.
And a lot of coaches, Bruce, reaching for the fixture tonight just to see when they play North Melbourne and rubbing their hands together if it is within the next month or so, I'd imagine.
David Parkin's got Essendon to worry about on Monday, but he has got North on Monday after. The Blues, so Melbourne got Collingwood on Friday night next week. And that, if Collingwood is successful and the punters say they'll beat Port, will suddenly become a very, very big match next Friday night.
Chandler caught by Viney. Tough as nails. Leoncelli, who's been terrific tonight. Been a fine game from the former Old Zav player. Might be in the running for that jumper. Dipper's going to give away, Tim.
I've been impressed with the way he's performed tonight.
Melbourne's had 2 stars on the forward line. Sean Charles with 3 goals, all coming in that third term. And Jeff Farmer, 2 in the first quarter and 1 in this final quarter. Lovett dumps the ball back over the line. So Melbourne happy to run the clock down. Disappointed North Melbourne box. Mark Dawson in the background, along with Dennis Pagan. Tonight hasn't gone to plan. Blakey to Archer. And Todd Viney just bowls him over the line.
Can set you back on your heels this game, can't it? Dennis Pagan would have gone into this game worried that his players had fat heads. Now he's worried about his 2 champions and when they'll play again.
Ingerson. Bell, the kick has been smothered. Comes back to Scott. Just couldn't handle it. Farmer can. All class. Around the corner. Inside 50. Lyon's the target. Pike at the back. Martin. Always reliable. Finds Archer. He's been at both ends of the ground. So the time clock ticking away for North.
And goes to centre wing. Chandler and Viney. And again out of play. It's been out of play on that side of the ground so often throughout the night. Corey McKernan, right knee injury tonight. Same knee that he had problems with in the grand final. Jeff Farmer and David King, a lot of chatting tonight.
Had several animated conversations.
Here's Archer building it back to half forward. Smith, good hands. It's an inspired move by Barn last year to put him back in defence. A surprising one, but one of the first days I think was at Cardinia Park against Ablett. And again it's going to be a throw up in the centre. Lovett's done well since coming on, the veteran. He looked just about gone 2 years ago, Brett Lovett. Had a good useful season last year and he'll be happy with what he's done tonight. He probably kicked the goal that made it safe for Melbourne. Chandler off the ground. Nettlebeck forces forward. Playing the percentages, Melbourne. Here's Stevens, had a lot of the footy. Back turn was good. Very well played. Martin, who's had a fantastic match. Back towards half forward. Quick kick by Smith. Could feel the opponent on his back, so he was able to boot the ball away and out of bounds. 10-10, 5-13. As I said, there's Sean Smith. North's lowest score in 1996 in the premiership season. There's Clarkson, ex-North. was 7 goals 16 against West Coast in Perth. And tonight they're not going to manage that. They're 5-13 with about 6 minutes remaining. You wouldn't think they'll kick 3 more goals in the last 6 minutes. Stevens forcing forward. Danilchenko. Chandler smothered. Pyman and Obst still in play. North get it to half forward. Scholl after it. Close to the line. Off the ground. Good move. Gets up to the pocket. Gaspar runs it out deliberately. Well, that's a big call. I think the umpires have shown in the NC Cup 2 they're going to pay these. So Roberts has got it in the pocket. Gaspar taking 1 step over the line. Deemed to be deliberate. And Roberts has missed a couple of chances tonight. A pretty easy kick from straight in front after they looked to chance North.
He's going to go for the boomerang.
The old check side. Banana kick. Good looking kick off the boot. I think he's got it. Has he? Well, what about that? Missed the 2 when it really mattered. Gaspar can't believe it. He's spitting chips. 6-13 to 10-10.
I guess that's what makes coaches go grey and lose their hair.
Is that deliberate?
I wouldn't have thought so. I would have given him the benefit of the doubt. He was so close. He was so close to the boundary line.
Couldn't go anywhere, could he?
What else was he going to do?
Well, it looked as soon as he actually took control that his foot virtually was on the boundary line. 6-13-49. Plays 10-10-70. Rock. A hurried kick. It's been marked by Stevens. Not paid. So a ball up in the centre of the ground. Melbourne looking at that time clock. Wins few and far between last year. This will be a great start. An unexpected one to most of the experts. Farmer has been fantastic tonight. The King. So a running battle with Charles. Charles has kicked 3 goals on him in 1 quarter. Been marked by Scholl. He's on the edge of the centre square. Roberts gives a lead. It's been ignored. So he kicks a long bomb. Backing back is Lyon Chally. Hopgood. Can't take control. And listen to the Melbourne supporters because no free kick was paid against them that time. And there's a North Melbourne supporter all fired up. And it's just the opening game of the year. So a boundary throw in. Middlebeck. Bell. Lovett. Lost it. Allison. Goes short. Smith couldn't handle it. Matthew Phoebe. Caught. Got a ball.
45 metres from North's goal. Late in the final term. Steins. Longmire. Steins. Little handball. Pyman's kick. Only as far as Stevens. Stevens bangs back to full forward. Roberts has had a fair bit of the footy in the last quarter. Can he turn Gaspar inside out? Has it for a while. Goes back towards Scott. Cut off by Matthew Phoebe. Tackle on Gaspar pretty good. Matthew Phoebe back to Farmer. Wonderfully played. Brilliant. He is a joy to watch. To Obst. Back into centre half forward. Neats and Martin. And Mickey's had the best of that. And then rides Brett Lovett like a big bull. And he's going to get a free kick. What about Farmer back here? Wasn't that good? Mickey, yeah, I know what I said. I didn't mean it like that. 70 to 49, but Martin from the centre square. You know what I meant with Lovett trying to put him out. Mickey just said, "Get away, you little fella." Belts it to full forward. Taken by Gaspar. Tries to kick it out of bounds deliberately. Knows he won't get paid for that. Out of play, and he makes it. He goes over the line. Jeff Farmer is a big talent. 19 years of age.
I spoke to Garry Lyon during the week about Farmer, and I said, how good is this fellow? And he said, he is a wizard.
As long as he didn't use that word special, Tim.
Freeborn. Into the pocket. Roberts versus Gaspar. He's trapped it again. Certainly has had a bit of the ball. He finds Allison. So he's kicked a goal in this last term, Brett Allison. Should kick his second from around about 35 metres.
That double goal that Melbourne got at the other end is pretty important now, isn't it?
10-10-70 Melbourne. 6-13-49 North Melbourne. 2.5 minutes of action left. Allison kicks a goal.
Battled on bravely tonight, North Melbourne, but they've just been missing the cream off the top of their cake, haven't they? They've just had the ball down there more times than Melbourne have had tonight. But they just haven't had the players capable of manufacturing the goals.
Couple to Allison in the last quarter. Roberts has had the better Gasper in this last quarter. Neil Baum, 2.5 goals of difference. Time shortly against North, but they've kept coming like the champion team that they are. Hopgood out of the centre to Steins. I think from Melbourne's point of view, they'd love to finish off with a goal here to really stamp this match, but North is the team that's attacking. Archer, good fly by Danilchenko. Little give by Viney under pressure. North really going at it hard. Bell, tackle from behind. Nettlebeck under pressure, belts it away to centre wing. Lovett there, and also Blakey. Lovett well done to Farmer. Free kick surely, not given. Kick out towards half forward, out of play. Again, good field by Farmer. He might have cramped up, I think. Let's hope that's all it is. Looks like he may be coming off, Farmer. He's in a bit of trouble, I think. Wants to come from the ground. The Melbourne interchange, I don't think they'll wake up to it just yet. 10-10 to 7-13. Ingerson and Archer, here's Farmer again. King working forward with Obst. Good kick actually, had nowhere to go with it. He's able to build it forward and get it 40 metres along. Farmer off and Clarkson on. So there's nothing bad with Farmer because he went so good. Yeah.
'70 plays 55. Rock. It's battled hard to Laidley. Melbourne's tackling has been terrific tonight. Archer. Crash to the ground was Clarkson. Right on 50. King, it's a hurried kick. It's out of bounds on the full. Possessions tonight to Matthew Phoebe. Kicks to the pocket. Gee, that was tremendous mark by Archer, just backing back. Scholl also in this quarter showed tremendous courage running with the flight of the ball. So we've got another boundary throw in. There's Jeff Farmer. 3 goals tonight along with Sean Charles. Dipper looks like he's going to try and get a word with him. Archer versus Ingerson. Viney tough in the clinches. Obst. Touch of class. Kicks a poor one. Mighty Mick has been very good again tonight. To King. A customary burst out of defence. Kicks back towards the half-forward line. The free kick is going to Allison, who was held.
Centre win. Couple of goals in the last quarter for Allison.
A couple of misses costly for North Melbourne this last quarter, and that second goal too.
Middlebeck back, takes the mark.
7 marks, Bruce.
Yeah, they'll be pleased with this game, even though Garry did get right on top of him very early, but he's come back strongly. Ingerson trying to take it. Hopgood, and that's it. The Demons have won. What an upset. .5 winners. On a dramatic night, really, with 2 of the champions in the game. Corey McKernan on the left and Wayne Carey. Their immediate future for North Melbourne in doubt.